Wagwan, Wagwan, Wagwan. It's your humble host, Big Truck. You already know what time it is. Go on ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. And shout out to my man, Average Man Unplugged. Go to his channel, show him some love. Every time I do reaction videos, I like to pay respect and pay homage to those that open up the door for conversation. So without further ado, please grab your shoulder pads and your helmet and let's get this work. Let's go.
Well, he's here. You get to see what they've been whispering about in corners. Come on.
It's actually not that hard to find a good man with a good heart and good intentions and will treat you right. You just want to settle for the bare minimum because they're giving you attention.
Ooh.
What was that?
Is he really a narcissist, or did you create a false narrative in your head, and then when he didn't live up to that expectation, instead of taking accountability and loving him for who he is, you actually demonize his character to everybody around so you don't look stupid? Oh my God, who said that? Who was that?
They say they want a masculine man that's going to take the lead, but as soon as the man try to take the lead and show his masculinity, they say that he's controlling narcissist or said that he has toxic traits. When in reality, it's just unsolved daddy issues because daddy was never around and they were raised by single moms. So they never seen what it looks like to respect a man and actually have a man take the lead. So they just call it controlling or the new generation sassy. Wait, who said that?
Is it that red pill content is dangerous to women, or is it that you hoping that the men that you were taking advantage of don't get a hold onto it and finally realize that they were being taken advantage of and they were constantly doing something for a woman that had no intentions on reciprocating any kind of energy? Is it really that you hoping that they don't have the self-respect to use their discernment to vet you properly and see if you like them for them and not for what you can benefit off of them? Bro, who the fuck said that?
Shazam.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But these women don't want to admit it.
Hey, my man with the dark face, with the dark look, shit is kind of tight.
To some men go on and on and on about how nobody cares about men's mental health. No one cares, no one cares, no one cares, not even during Men's Mental Health Month. We've been hearing it since June 1st. And within 17 days of the start of Men's Mental Health Month, we are now getting the opportunity to witness some of those exact same men get on this exact same app and make fun of, criticize, and even just downright blatantly ridicule a man for climbing to the top of a bridge and jumping off on Father's Day.
One of the things I like to bring home and I like to stress a lot is, during Men's Mental Health Month, is that men go through things. Fuck the bullshit. You will never know what it's like to be a man. You will never know what it's like on a daily basis to function and move as a man. Men take on so much. And when you do come across an individual and he opens up, he expresses to you, then you make him feel like shit. Men's mental health. I'm an advocate for men, especially men that stand on business and sit on chrome. Continue to grow, men. Continue to learn, continue to be better. Fuck these modern feminist bitches. If you're going to date you a woman of good character, a woman that has something to bring to the table of a relationship, a woman that wants to build, a woman that understands and that is willing to create a safe place for you men.
This man climbed to the top of a bridge and jumped off, taking his own life on Father's Day during Men's Mental Health Month. And some of those exact same men who have been going on and on and on since June 1st about how no one cares about men's mental health, especially women, are now ridiculing a man for suffering from poor mental health and ending his life as a result. Some of those same exact men are now sitting in comment sections of videos talking about that man, or sitting in the comment sections of videos of that man actually standing on the bridge before he jumped, saying things like, oh, that's why I was caught in traffic. Oh, this is what I was stuck in traffic for. Oh, he's so selfish.
There's so much only a man can take, but even a man has a breaking point. See, a large number of women don't understand. When it comes to men's mental health, it has no color. Men's mental health is very important, and it doesn't get talked about often. There are good men and women out there. There are some good, lovely, appreciative men and women out there. But when you have modern feminist women coming in with their rhythm of roll bullshit, trying to spin their narrative, trying to keep this division, And then those same modern feminist women will shit and shame women for doing good things for their man. Those same type of women will sit up there and shit and shame on men for doing good things. You know, it's almost like if it's a woman going through stuff, everything's supposed to stop. Give sympathy to that woman, help her, pray for her, assist her. But where's that same energy when it comes to a man?
Wordly, oh, he's a PUSSY. And while I am fortunate enough to understand that it's not all men, because I'm fortunate enough to be married to a man who I've been able to witness actually genuinely care about the mental health of the men in his life. You know, I've got to witness my husband work a 12-hour shift at work, get in bed. You know, he's only got a few hours until he's got to be back at work at 4 o'clock the next morning. And I've witnessed him get out of bed in the middle of the night, get in his truck and drive an hour plus out of his way just to go and sit with a friend who was having a hard time. I've gotten to witness my husband be willing to get up at any hour of the day or night and go talk a friend down if they're having a mental health episode. I've gotten to listen to some of the heartfelt conversations that he's had with men in his life.
I guarantee you, there's some modern feminist assholes out there that will sit up there and shame this sister for her sharing. You're not worth the juice to fucking squeeze. And I get upset. I really do. Y'all motherfuckers don't understand the mental aspect that a man goes through on a fucking day-to-day basis. But you want to sit up there and run your motherfucking mouth. But you can't shut the fuck up worth shit. But you always got something to say, like the world revolves off your ass. Like the sun rises and sets off your ass. Well, guess what, dumbass? It doesn't.
Guess what? In turn, my husband has a plethora of people in his life who care about him and love him and care about not only him, but his mental health. See, but y'all like to do things like get on this app for weeks and weeks and weeks, bragging about how your homeboys can't even call you and tell you goodnight without you cursing them out and calling them gay. You know, but you see, my husband and the men that he's related to, the men that he is friends with, they genuinely love and care for one another, and they let it be known. You know, they crack their jokes and they pick back and forth just like any other man in the world. I mean, guys will be guys. But at the end of the day, they don't view caring about one another and checking on one another and, you know, genuinely showing love and concern for one another. They don't.
But when you got just men, different men that don't know each other, that have different talking points, but talking about the same topic, you know how powerful that is? It goes to show the power, the energy, the vibe, when good men come together and they share with no judgment.
View that to be a weakness, but a lot of you do, because some of you men are the only people on the planet who could one day complain about how nobody cares about men's mental health, just to the very next day not be capable of showing a shred of empathy for a man who took his own life on Father's Day during Men's Mental Health Month. Y'all are the only ones. I mean, some of you have genuinely lost your humanity. And to be completely honest, you cannot sit around treating something as though it's unimportant and insignificant and not worth being cared about and not worth being taken care of, and then get upset when all the people around you follow suit. You yourself cannot act as though your own mental health doesn't matter, or as though men's mental health in general doesn't matter, and then be upset when the people around you start to believe that, hey, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe how he feels actually doesn't matter, because every time we try to talk to him about it, he tells us to fuck off. You can't have a lack of empathy for other men and then expect people to be able to empathize with you as a man. Lead by example. I mean, you expect people to not treat you the exact same way you treat your fellow man? A lot of you set the standard for how you were treated. Because while some of you are going on and on and on about how nobody cares about men's mental health, especially women, 9 times out of 10, it's usually the women in a lot of your lives who are the only ones who have the balls to tell you that maybe you need to go talk to a therapist. Maybe you need a psychologist. Maybe you need some medication. Hell, maybe you just need to go join an all-male support.
I like some of the advice that she's given, and some of what she's saying is good. And there's some of those that, you know, some of her talking points is just like, shoo. I'm like, okay, you was doing good at first. Now you're losing your grip.
Hell, just go and join a male-centered hobby, make male friends, and just be nice to one another. But what do y'all say? Oh, no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Ain't no doctor gonna tell me how I feel. I ain't taking no crazy pills. Oh, no, I ain't gonna talk to nobody about my feelings. But then when people eventually give up on trying to get you to talk about your feelings, now it's nobody cares. I say this time and time again over a plethora of different situations involving men and women. But other people cannot care about you more than you do. It's just that simple.
Now, I hear where she's coming from, but in all honesty, I think you're being a little biased on your take, because is that possible that there are some men out there that are acting like that about that situation? Because this is my first time hearing about it. Yes, that can absolutely be true. But you also said that a lot of y'all, and that's where you fucked up at.
You got to get that whole thing out of your cranium of all. All men don't move the same. All women don't move the same. Or I speak for all women. I speak for all men. No, you speak for yourself. I don't care about all. I'm not having a conversation with all. I'm having a conversation with you.
We can acknowledge that there are men out there that probably did respond in that manner the way you did, but to sit over here and say that that's the majority, nah, or say that that's even a lot of us, nah, that's cap. That's your opinion. That's not a fact. If you go on TikTok right now and type in men's mental health, it's actually more men that are telling other men to open up to one another, talk to each other about their issues and their problems. You're going to see more of that than you see anything else. And I would also make the argument that you're going to see more women shitting on men's mental health.
He has some things to say. I'm going to go ahead and let him spit the fireball.
Let me start like this, because we don't talk about men's mental health enough. I mean, not in the barbershop, not at the kitchen table, not in church, not in the hood, and definitely not with each other. But let me say this loud and clear for you.
Also, modern feminist moon crickets. Let's go.
Men's mental health is not weakness. It's not soft, and it's not a side mission. It's survival. It's structure. It's strength. So let me tell you what happened in my own house, just to be transparent. One day I heard my woman tell our son, "Stop crying. Boys don't cry." And I stopped her immediately, not with anger, but with presence. I said, "Don't ever tell him that again." I grew up hearing that. And when you teach a boy to silence his pain, you teaching him to bury it until it becomes anger, addiction, or distance.
What he said was very important. He grew up hearing that. I just want to make sure that others caught that. Men, how many of you grew up hearing something? How many of you men grew up? Okay? Things were done to you. Things were said. You were abandoned. You were abused. How many of you men went through that? Not only did you men get help, but also men, you made an executive decision to say, you know what? I'm going to cut the cord. I'm going to cut this toxic cord. I'm going to cut it. Because when you know better, you do better. This brother cut it. I just wanted to make that clear. Because men, we have the ability to do all things, especially the things that we set our minds to.
What we like to call the strong, silent types is just unprocessed pain in a fitted cap. And yeah, I get it. Men ain't supposed to be emotional wrecks, but we're not robots either. See, let me break something down for y'all. Suppressing your emotion is not control. It's avoidance. And avoidance becomes destruction. And when a man doesn't know how to process, he lashes out at his woman. He ghosts his kids emotionally. He drowns in liquor or weed. He dies silently while everybody thinks he's fine. That ain't handling it like a man. That's losing your mind while wearing a mask. And some of you right now might be asking, what does mental health actually look like for a man? Well, it ain't therapy speaking trauma dumps on social media. It's this. You feel something, don't ignore it. Address it. If you need space, take it, but don't shut people out forever. You need help, ask. Don't die with pride and silence. If you hurting, I'm gonna need you to own it. Then plan your comeback.
I applaud this brother. And how many of us see ourselves in his testimony, in his story? How many of us been there? When you acknowledge that these are the things that I've been carrying, because men carry stuff too. How can I release all of these things so that I can have increase?
Importantly, don't wait for a breakdown to start building discipline. And I know there are some women that are listening right now. Respect the work that it takes to be a stable man. You can't say you want a man who opens up, but when he does, can you hold space? Or do you use it against them later? Because men are already taught to stay quiet. So when we speak, that's sacred. Don't kill that trust. And to the men, I'm gonna need y'all to start checking your circle and checking yourself. Every man needs one real friend he can vent to without being judged.
Yep.
A daily routine that guards his peace.
Yep.
A place to be honest without ego.
Yeah.
A reason to keep going when everything feels heavy.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any of those things, you can build them, find them, or demand them.
Already.
Mental health isn't just I'm okay. It's I know what to do when I'm not okay. My sons will cry and still walk like kings. You see, I'm raising sons who will cry, feel, speak up, and still command respect. Because when they become men, they won't need to perform strength.
And let me throw this out there. To a large number of you women on social media, talking about you want a good man, you want this. This is a good man right here that none of y'all can't handle. Y'all wouldn't even know what to do with a man like this. Y'all will fold like a damn folder. Y'all will crumble like fucking cookies in a fucking plastic bag. You were never taught to handle a man of this caliber. So all that social media talk, all that copy and paste conversation, y'all can save that shit. It takes a real woman to handle a real man. And if you are not about that life, step the fuck aside so that a real woman can come in and be that man's peace and add value to his life. Because you damn sure ain't.
They'll already be strong. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And they'll know this. Pain is real, but it doesn't get to run your life. Emotion is a part of you, but it doesn't control you. You are not your struggle, you're the strategy. You can rule your mind or you can be ruled by it. You either master your emotions or your emotions, they're going to master you.
Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I want every man to listen to this video, do whatever you need to do. Copy, paste it, share it. Let's get that word out there for men's mental health. We are the important piece to this game called life. I'm going to let him take us home because the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, Yeshua, HaMashiach, our Lord and Savior, is using him.
Plain and simple. You can lead your thoughts or your thoughts are going to lead you off a cliff. You can create order or you can live in silent chaos. This ain't therapy talk. This is real life. Men's mental health is about clarity, control, and peace. Because a man that governs his own mind, he doesn't just survive, he builds legacy. And that's the real flex. So thank you, stay solid, stay sharp, and stay alive, brothers.
Victory lap.